be? What have they done? How could they?
This is it. This is the end. I have to do it.
No, Polka. It is not over quite yet. We must not give up.
What are you doing?
After all, this is my dream.
Where are we?
It's the field of flowers near Tenuto.
How can that be? This place is supposed to be a flower field?
Yes, it is. And this is the place where it all began. Where I met you, Polka. The place where this whole dream first started. Which is why it's such a fitting place for the dream to come to an end. The time has finally come for me to confront my own heart. I must make my choice now. Whatever happens, I'll face the challenge before me. Don't you understand? You're nothing more than imaginary characters I've created in my mind.
Frederick, what are you saying? What's wrong with you?
Forgive me. I am truly sorry, Beat. But it seems I'll be unable to offer my help to you any longer. When I'm defeated in this battle, an undeniable truth will be revealed, and this fleeting dream will slowly fill with color and light. Only when this ordeal has finally come to an end will my soul at last be permitted to leave my physical body.
So then, is this the path you've chosen for yourself?
It is. This is my dream, and I must be the one to set things right. This world we're in, and you, Polka, must be freed from the tangle of our twisted destinies. Now, let the test begin. We'll see whether whether my spirit can become a lance, able to pierce through all of you in battle. We'll see if I'm truly such a weak human being. Don't you all understand? This entire world is my dream!
Is that your magic?
You people don't understand. Maelstrom! Dimensional turn!
Void Edge! Have a nice nap.
Nimbo Stratos! Nimbo Stratos! There is no one else. I am the only one here. Applaudissement Sonic! You soulless creatures.
Lots in the shower!
Okay.
Good!
Let's cut your chance. This is over and done. Have a nice nap.
Nimbo Stratos! Nimbo Stratos!
Watch the light of the countless stars in the night sky. Starlight Flash! Fire Wave!
Did I do it right?
That should do it.
Starlight Flash! Have a nice nap.
Yo!
Nimbo Stratos!
Do your best, everyone! Blossom Shower!
Thanks.
Disruptive Wave!
Starlight Flash!
Did I do it right?
Orzel Biali! Nimbo Stratos! Applaudissement Sonic! You soulless creature!
Fall into the never-ending depths of night. Shadow Assault! Starlight Flash!
Applaudissement Sonic! You soulless creatures!
Heat Blade! That should do it.
Blossom Shower!
Thanks.
Good!
Starlight Flash! Did your stomach drop?
Applaudissement Sonic! There is no one else. I am the only one here. Applaudissement Sonic! You soulless creatures.
Collapse and crawl into the depths of darkness. Shadow Assault! Starlight Flash!
Blossom Shower! Good!
Carry them away to the riverside, to the water's edge. Nimbo Stratos!
Maelstrom!
After this, we're done! Starlight Flash! Fire Wave!
Disruptive Wave!
Yes, this is for the best, dear Amelia.
Thank you, Frederick. But I'm sorry.
Polka?
Stay back. Allegretto, please forgive me for not telling you about this. If I had told you what I was going to do, there's no way that you would have taken me all the way here. It's just that I remembered. I remembered a while ago what the path is that I have to take.
Polka, what are you doing? First Frederick and now you? What in the world is going on?
Don't you see? Frederick just gave all of us a gift. The most precious gift there is.
What the heck are you saying? Can somebody please explain to me what's going on?
Polka, what exactly is it that you're planning on doing?
It's something that my mother told me about when I was a little girl. And now I finally understand it. I know what she meant.
It is your fate to go into the sea.
Yes, it is my fate to go into the sea. It's the only way the tremendous waves that threaten the people of this world can finally be made calm.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
Most people live their lives turning their backs on things too difficult to face. Ignoring what hurts you eventually becomes a habit, the natural thing to do. If we only allow ourselves to see what we want to see, we just end up fooling ourselves more and more. But eventually, we cloud our vision so completely that we become blind to the small truths that are all around us. The same way the twinkling of the stars is blotted out by the glare of bright city lights. The truth was always there in my memories. Thank you, Mom, for everything. But I'm ready now, and I know what it is that I must do.
Polka, don't! Please stop!
Oh, Beat, I want you to know, your photographs are so wonderful. They're full of memories that I don't ever want to let go of.
Yeah, and hey, I promise I'll take even more!
If I had any choice in the matter, I'd never want to give up those memories of this journey and the time we've spent together. I know this is hard for you to accept right now, but someday we'll all meet again. I'm absolutely positive. The time has come for everything to be settled. Was this fated to be? Was this always my life's purpose? No. It's a decision I'm making of my own free will. This is something that has to be done.
Polka, what are you doing?
There is a place where I can make a real difference, now that the world is covered in darkness. It's a place that I have to illuminate with the shining light of the Astra that lies sleeping within my heart.
Don't do it! We'll find some other way to save the world! You don't have to carry all the burden by yourself!
this. And it's for the person who means the most to me. My life is nothing compared to his. Doing this is easy, if it's for him.
Polka! Why couldn't I do anything for her? What could I have done to change things? Does this mean dying was the only thing Polka could do? There wasn't any way we could save her? Why did Polka, of all people, have to suffer like that? What the hell is wrong with this world? Damn it! You come barging into our world out of nowhere, then just leave when you get tired of it! This is supposed to be your dream, right? Well then why couldn't you do anything? No, that's not it. It isn't a dream at all. It's real. And I don't know what, but I have to do something!
That's true. Perhaps this is no longer just a dream. Have I awakened? At long last.
Frederick?
Why? The dream was at an end. Oh no. No, it can't be. Not Polka.
Thank you, everyone. I know it didn't last very long, but really, this was the most fun I've ever had in my life. If I blow him a kiss, I wonder, will it reach him up there? I hope so. I really do.
Really, though, comparing seawater stirred up by the beauty of the moon to the ugly waves created by the effects of human desire is rather an insult to the ocean.
Why does everyone avoid me?
Hey, Riddle, why is bread so expensive anyway? I mean, if it was a little cheaper, we wouldn't have to steal it for people.
Everything in the world slowly fades with time. It is very difficult to remain still and keep things exactly as they are in just one particular moment. But because everything shifts only a little bit at a time, no one really notices the change.
But if you're in your own dream, how can you be so completely positive that what's happening is only a dream? And if what you're experiencing in the dream is so realistic to you, how can you even tell what's actually the real world?
Are you still messing around with that stuff? You need to look at things with your own two eyes. You'd see things a whole lot clearer if you weren't always looking at them through bent glass.
Well, mineral powder does have its uses, you know. But just because it's useful doesn't mean it should be used.
They like the convenience of it so much. They don't see the danger they'll be faced with later.
Unless someone does something about this soon, there won't be anything anyone can do to stop it.
No matter how much time passes, war remains.
A lifetime to build, but it only takes a moment to destroy. You know, human beings really are masters of destruction. Were my feelings real? Or was it all just some kind of illusion? Everything I've ever done has always just been an act. But at least at the end, I want to be the real me.
But there are some things we must never forget, no matter what. Tragic memories that we have to carve firmly in stone, so that the wind can never blow them away.
Listen, when you eliminate all the other possibilities, you cannot escape the truth that remains, no matter how difficult it may be to accept.
You know, I've been thinking about it a lot, and if I couldn't use magic, I don't think I would have ever felt this desire to go out and help other people like this. If that had been the case, I would have never set out on this journey, and I probably would have never had the chance to meet you.
It's because of despicable people like you that tragedies like what happened to Claves occur in the first place.
It's strange. I seem to remember the view being much more beautiful when I was younger, even though there weren't nearly as many lights then as there are now.
We can't allow ourselves to be led by others. We must take charge of our own destinies and decide our future. It doesn't matter what the outcome may be. The choice is the important thing.
There's no way she could know what I'm going to draw before I do it. That doesn't make any sense. No one knows what they're going to get before they draw. That's why people can have hope for the future.
It requires much more courage to take a step back than it does to take a step forward. Would you not agree? After all, there is no guarantee that there will be ground to stand upon.
Most people live their lives turning their backs on things too difficult to face. Ignoring what hurts you eventually becomes a habit, the natural thing to do. If we only allow ourselves to see what we want to see, we just end up fooling ourselves more and more.
Why did Polka, of all people, have to suffer like that? What the hell is wrong with this world? Let me educate you. Nothing, absolutely nothing lasts forever. That's why, for the short time we're here, we gotta try to make things a little better. Putting everything you've got into whatever it is you do, that's what life is all about.
If we're gonna be saving the world, I at least want us to have something to remember it all by.
But it's strange. I don't regret it at all. For once, it actually felt like we were on equal footing.
When one thing comes to an end, something else starts up right after. That's what they call the natural order of things. I'd also like to help any way that I can.
Things will be different from now on, and I'll wait. I won't resort to that until the last possible moment.
We're all in this together. And as long as we stick together, work together, it'll work out somehow. We'll make sure it does.
Death is a reality that is far too real. But I've walked this dreamlike journey within a dream so that, once and for all, I could accept it. And now, the time has come. Everything shall come to its finale.
Mr. Chopin's time of death, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mommy, why are there waves in the sea?
Well, darling, there are waves because of the moon.
Because of the moon?
That's right. The moon charms the water in the ocean with its beauty. And because the moon is so beautiful, the seawater just can't sit still.
Is that true? Really?
Really? Don't you feel your heart start fluttering inside of you when you look at the moon?
I do! What about the puddle? Will it make waves when the moon comes out too?
No, dear. There's not enough water. You need lots and lots of water, like the ocean, before it can make any real waves.
Oh, I see. But that's weird. Why can't a little bit of water make waves too?
I won't let you die, Polka. After all, you've only been alive for 14 years. A 14-year-old girl must live her life.
The amount of water is the most important part of creating waves. That can be said about people as well. There are many things in this world that can charm people's hearts, just like the moon charms the sea. Things like wealth, vanity, status, image, and power.
When the sun is out, they hide in their buds and then open their blossoms only when it is truly important.
Bigger and stronger.
Drawing in even the faintest amount of light, they decisively embody it, and in doing so reflect something that people can never see.
The number of people grows.
They wait for the moment when the world is trapped in darkness, and then blossom with glowing light.
Terrible conflicts.
On the grassy plain, they paint a picture of the star-filled night sky that was blotted out by the city lights.
I guess.
Isn't it pitch black around you? Isn't the world covered in darkness?
If something like that
Now,
ever were to happen,
come.
the only
It's
way
2
to stop
o'clock in
it
the morning.
would be for you to jump into the ocean.
The time for you to blossom has come.
Because when you do, those big waves will become calm again.
Do you remember?
It may be difficult.
You said it was
do,
up to me
but if
whether
you
I
can
wanted
be
to call
very
them Heaven's
brave,
Mirror.
You'll bring joy to the person who means the most to you.
Really?
I'm still allowed to choose, am I not?
Then I'll do it!
Well, then I shall make my definitive choice. Right now.
Comparing seawater stirred up by
That
the
flower
beauty of
that
the
so
moon
resembles you.
to the ugly waves created
That
by the
flower
effects
that
of
boldly
human
challenges the
desire,
darkness.
spreading an insult to the ocean.
I choose to call it Heaven's Mirror.
Mommy, I'm sorry. But I think someone's calling me.
I see. Then you must have met the person who is the perfect match for your Astra. Well, he's the person that you choose to believe in, so I'm sure he must be wonderful. I did so want to see you on your wedding day. But now, I suppose the only thing I can do for you is to tell you this. Come back someday and do your best.
Okay, Mommy. I'll see you later then.
I wonder if I have become a bit more like the seawater. When it's stirred by the beauty of the moon. Thank you, Polka dear. Please, be happy.
It's Polka! She's glowing!
Polka!
Frederick, you've come back to us.
One day, the caterpillar asked the snail, "Mr. Snail, you know many things. Could you tell me what kind of shape is the shape of life?" The snail nodded and answered, "Well, Mr. Caterpillar, I think that maybe life is red, like a ripe tomato." The caterpillar laughed happily and said, "No, Mr. Snail, I didn't ask about the color of life. I asked you about the shape." The snail nodded and pondered, and then he answered, "Well, Mr. Caterpillar, I think that maybe it has a sweet scent, like a pot of honey." The caterpillar let out a disappointed sigh and said, "No, Mr. Snail, I didn't ask about the scent of life. I asked you about the shape." The snail nodded and pondered and thought some more, and then he answered, "Well, Mr. Caterpillar, I think that maybe it murmurs like a babbling brook." The caterpillar finally broke down in sorrowful tears, shook his head, and said, "No, Mr. Snail, I didn't ask about the sound of life. I asked you about the shape." The snail nodded and pondered, and at long last he finally answered, "Well, Mr. Caterpillar, I think that maybe it has a sharp, sweet flavor, like a juicy cherry." Losing his patience, the caterpillar grew very angry and said, "If you don't want to answer me, then fine. I'm not going to ask you any more, Mr. Snail. Goodbye." And with that, the caterpillar turned around and went home. When he was gone, the snail nodded and said, "Oh, Mr. Caterpillar, you already knew the answer. Happiness, disappointment, sorrow, anger. These are the sights, smells, sounds, and tastes. Life can take on many different shapes.